Okay, everybody, this is it. This is my top 10 list. This has been in my ears the most this year. So, okay, number 10, Revenge of the Dreamers 3, the Deluxe edition. The majority of the songs that I liked on that album, I'd like to thank Jed, Loot, and Earth Gang. Those guys were the standout guys on that album. Really nice overall. Number 9, Big Sean with Detroit 2. That is probably the album that I like from him the most. The other one was probably I Decided and Dark Sky Paradise. Those ones are pretty good. It's kind of hard for me to like a Big Sean project as a whole because there's always like a portion of an album that I do not really appreciate or like as much. So yeah, that's good on him. He made it to my top 10 this year. Number 8, Bruno Major, To Let a Good Thing Die. I just listened to a song this year. Angie introduced a song to me from him, and what's it called? It's called Nothing, and that's one of my favorite tracks this year. So a very nice, loving R&B album there for you and your significant other. Number 7, Logic with presumably his last album that he'll ever make, No Pressure. That's a nice little sequel to his 2014 album. I like to think that this one was a little better in my opinion, just because No Pressure kind of felt like a watered down Good Kid, Mad City. That's just in my opinion, right? Number 6, this came out in 2019 in December, but like I said in my previous video, I'd like to let albums that release in December marinate. Free Nationals with Free Nationals. That's a heck of an album. There's a lot of really good production on there. That is Anderson .Paak's band, and we saw him last year in July when Anderson .Paak performed with the Free Nationals, and they had a little portion of the concert where they were performing just themselves, and just the way they play their instruments and how just they make music overall is just incredible. Number 5, we have Mr. Westside Gunn himself making an appearance again with Who Made the Sun Shine. That came out just a few months ago, and I haven't stopped listening to that. Butcher and the Blade, that's definitely my standout track there. And yeah, you know, he just delivers non-stop, just like the rest of the Griselda camp. Number 4, yes, you guessed it, just kidding. It's Westside Gunn again with Pray for Paris. Guys, Pray for Paris is one of my favorite albums this year. I just, you know, caught on to him this year. His name sounded familiar, but just, you know, I guess he just kept gradually showing up in on my phone, on my Spotify playlist, and I'm like, who's this guy? The first song I heard from him was actually on a feature, Free Nationals album. What's it called? Riverside Rivington or something? Hold on, let's look it up. Alright, so, you know, the thing that caught my attention was Westside Gunn was obviously his voice, and I'm like, man, who's this 4-year-old rapping? This guy's just going off. And then, you know, I looked through his catalog, and what got me was just his voice and his ad-libs. Every time he mentions a gun, you know, he'll go brrrr, and there's a lot of crazy things that he does on his album, and I love it completely, man. I'm on deck. Griselda 2020, what a great year. Alright, so guys, we are entering our top 3. Very, very hard to kind of arrange, because I have been going back to these 3 albums the most. And to make it to my top 3, or even, you know, my top 1, you can't have any skips on these albums. As great as the other 7 were noted, you know, there was like 1 or 2 tracks that I didn't really favor, but you know, these 3, these are big. So starting off with number 3, we are ending off 2020 with Mr. Thundercat with It Is What It Is, off of his sequel Drunk, just another classic album of his. Mr. Bass himself. The first time I heard him was off of Kendrick Lamar's To Pimp a Butterfly, and just how he went off the bass and his features in the songs that he makes. You could feel it, and you could tell it's him playing the bass, just the way he plays it. You could just, you know, you could tell. Number 2, this was really tough for me. Number 2 and 1. Those are always the tough ones, but I'm going with Mr. Benny the Butcher with Burden of Proof. That album has no skips at all. It shows up, it hits you right in the face, it gives you that hard spitting stuff, and it gives you like the real talk as well. And this is a little different compared to his other albums, just because of, I guess, production selection and also the material that he talks about. Like, he'll always give you like that crack cocaine rap. and he'll give you like a very nice little vivid illustration of what he's spitting, and that's what he thrives on based off of his interviews, and I could personally like see it. And yeah, I don't live that lifestyle, but you know, it makes me appreciate his music a lot more. You know, he's definitely 100% real when it comes to this rap game and just, you know, his life in general. Griselda, congratulations, man. 2020 has been your year. But number one, you guys, number one, I'm going to have to give it to Jhené Aiko with Chilombo. What was the other one in 2017, 2018? It was alright, to be honest. It wasn't my favorite. So for her to come back with an album like this, with just non-stop, you know, hits, yeah, from Lotus, the way it starts off with the piano is beautiful. Triggered freestyle, you know, the way she sounds hurt. None of Your Concern with Big Sean as well. Speak of is a very powerful song, you know, it's Angie's favorite. BS, that one's a tough track as well. Pussy Fairy on the Way. Happiness Over Everything. One Way Street featuring Absol. Absol's feature was nuts. Define Me, Surrender, yeah, come on, just the whole album from front to back, there's no skips. And even the deluxe version of it, you cannot really have any skippable tracks there. So with that being said, guys, this is my top 10 albums of 2020. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys had any differences in your top 10, please let me know. Obviously, music is subjective, so there's always a room for discussion there. You know, it's okay to disagree, it's okay to agree. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'd like to thank my brother for giving me a platform to kind of express myself on this wall here, on how I'm looking for CDs, and I might transition to vinyl soon perhaps. But yeah, man, music is a way of expression, and that being said, man, I'm signing out. Thank you guys.